It's nice and cozy, and you guys find yourself falling asleep. During the night, our friend Zagan has a night terror.
Oh no.
Nightmare. He's prone to these. And you have the same dream that you experienced when you entered Barovia. This was the dream of those barbarian-like clan who had ascended that mound that was kind of tiered, and there was a singular oak tree at the top. There was a vast forest, and from the top of the hill, you could see off into the next countryside, which presumably was Darkon. Barovia was on this side. Through the forest, you could see out in the distance that a few settlements of the next territory. The original dream was in the perspective of the leader of that clan. If you remember, you had that dream where he was holding that red spear that was etched with like blood on the edge, and you recall having that desire to get that weapon. Well, in this instance, you were in the perspective of a captive of that clan, and the end of that dream results in you being pierced in your heart with that weapon. And you wake up in a cold sweat, but you are actually standing above our friend the bard with your hand out like this, and there are wisps of purple emanating from the bard into your being. Roll me, I'll roll d6. You lose a hit point.
I take a damage?
You take 1 damage. And you wake up.
I do?
You wake up.
And I'm awake at this point.
Well, at this point, you come to and you're like this, with your hand outstretched.
Oi! Mika, what you doing to me?
I don't know. I had this crazy dream.
I don't like that. I'm not into that kind of stuff.
I actually feel kind of stronger.
And you feel better
I feel better.
as you devoured the dream of your neighbor. At this point, Cole wakes up to the yell and grunt of this.
We understand. What's happening?
I'm super bewildered at this point. Like, I have no idea what just went down.
What was that?
I don't know. I was sleeping one moment, the next moment I was above you. What were you just?
I'm not into that. I'm just saying.
Were you dreaming at all?
Was I?
No,
I know.
you weren't dreaming at all.
Huh.
It
Dreams
just
were
got
literally
real
sucked
painful
from
all of a
your
sudden.
mind and devoured. As you kind of pull yourself together, you're wearing a loose tunic, you've got some trousers. You're noticing that your skin is shimmering. It's that same violet hue that emanated from your friend, but it's much more dull. And as you get closer to the hearth, you kind of turn towards the hearth to get a better idea of it. Your skin has changed colors.
Whoa.
It's no longer a peach-colored skin. But
It's like a Twilight Zone where you're about to learn about racism.
it is a hue of purple.
No, that literally.
Not dark, but faint. But it's noticeably different. Your skin is no longer like spongy to the feel. It's almost like tanned leather, dried out.
Me?
No, him.
Yeah. Okay.
Megan.
A Zagan. One streak within your, hair that you typically bring back that's golden brown. One streak of white, and has now changed from the front to the back.
So he turned purple and he got like a rogue stripe.
Okay.
It doesn't cause it, it just doesn't.
You just don't lose it.
Okay, so what was the clarification here of
Okay,
the
so-
armor?
So if you sleep in light armor, you're fine.
Okay.
If you sleep in medium or heavy armor, you only recover half of your hit points.
1/4 of your spent hit dice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
But what about like hit points?
Minimum of 1 die. No, it only says hit dice.
Only
Spent
hit dice.
Yeah, spent hit dice.
That's generous, and you don't recover any exhaustion.
Yeah,
you don't
and-
gain any.
Oh,
If you have any levels of exhaustion, the rest doesn't reduce your exhaustion.
Oh.
So that's actually fairly mild.
Yeah. But if I do get exhaustion, I have no way to remove it.
No, so we need to be careful.
Well, we have the potion of vitality.
What is the potion of
That one
vitality?
removes exhaustion.
Oh, it does. Well, that seems like it could be
Partially.
very
That's
useful.
one of the effects.
One of the effects: poison, exhaustion, regains hit points. It's good.
Okay, well.
So Andy, am I aware at all of what happened to me? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean you can totally tell that your essence changed. There's this hunger that's been satiated. That you know, that feeling that you felt of dread and of fatigue and of lethargicness or whatever has been satiated, and now you feel
like
recovered.
myself again,
Mhm.
but not myself.
You don't feel that hunger anymore.
Gotcha.
But you do notice you just feel different. That there's a difference in transformation of yourself.
But I don't know what it is.
I mean, essentially you would tell, right? Because you're no longer a human. So there are racial elements of your humanoid human race that you lose, right? So if you were a variant, there might have been a feat that you took. If you were a human, you would have had a +1 to all of your stats, depending on what you chose. You lose that, you forgo all that because you're no longer a human race.
Whoa.
Are you a tiefling? What
And
happened?
you obtain the Dampier
Okay.
race
Oh.
origin, which has its own set of buffs.
Oh my
And
gosh.
So I'm a vampire.
so you're a vampire.
Someone
You're
doesn't
Dampier,
get to
and you
breathe.
have a number of
Yeah.
abilities that are associated with it.
So this vampiric thing, you have 6 different ways you can be a vampire. Blood, you can eat meat from raw meat. You can
Blood,
eat
meat,
spinal fluid,
Oh.
psychic energy, life energy, or dreams.
dream.
Whoa.
So he's
So
a
mine is dreams.
Dampier
Oh, funky.
dream eater.
Okay, that's cool.
And you're yeah.
You have to be from Barovia, Darkon, or Tickets to have
So his speed changed. He's more nimble. It went up to 35 instead of 30.
Hey, you're as fast as I am
You have
now.
dark vision now. You can see clearly at night, whereas you couldn't. You don't need to breathe.
I can climb walls.
Oh.
You have spider climb. You have vampiric bite, which you've been doing involuntary.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Now you have that's the dreams bite basically. Well, that's the hunger that you have. Vampiric bite, you can look at the stats, but when you do an unarmed attack, you can gain hit points or whatever.
You Fang Bite is a natural weapon, which counts
Yeah.
as simple.
You gain fangs. To me, it makes sense that you would lose the feat that you'd get as a variant human.
which would be Polar Master.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that vampires are terrible at poems. Just terrible.